Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, what we're going to be doing now, hopefully, we're going to do a combination of things. So, it's going to be a guided where we'll do the purification of the thighs first, do those exercises, then we'll try to go to Sayyidina Abdullah Zubair Rahmullah, to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to Makkah, and if we can go to other places as well. And then after that, we'll try and also combine the barzahs where you'll get permission to actually go to any of your relatives or deceased people that you like to actually visit, whoever kabur, and then slowly get you back again. So it's going to be a combination of all the muraqabah that you're doing. It's like a full combination of all of them in one go. Those of you who had issues and problems, now is the time to actually remember what we told you, practice on that, fix yourself on that, and ascertain to whatever guidance that was given to you, work on that. Those of you who are getting familiar, now is the time to actually get yourself even more familiar. Those of you who are proficient, now is the time to excel further. So for everybody, whichever level you're at, is the time for you to now to increase and enhance yourself in that. I'm just hoping and praying that you are all not too tired and you're all actually awake, because you'll need, it's going to be quite, going to try and do it relatively as quick as we can, but we'll work on the latayas first because it's a long journey we're going to be doing. So we're going to have to work on the latayas a little bit to purify them as much as we can. But don't worry, it won't be too long. But and then we'll try and actually get you through as quickly as possible. More importantly is that keep in the mindset, remember, is that whenever you're drifting in and out, the teacher is the focal point. Always remember, bring yourself back to the teacher, the thought of the teacher, bring them back, and that'll help you to restart. It's like a reignition. If you get lost, think of the teacher. If you get lost, think of the teacher. So it's like an ignition point. It's like a tracker that gets you, saves you, and then brings you back to wherever you need to go. Refocus on them and carry on like that. And let it flow. Don't start interpreting there and then, oh, this is imagination, oh, this is this. Let it flow. Let everything flow. Let it go smoothly. Let it go. Be nice and easy. Don't get apprehensive. And remember, it's not a race. Okay, it's not a race that I need to get there quickly, that's it, finish, and that's it, in 1 minute, that's it, and after that you're in black. Take it easy, see the scenes, see the scenarios, get details of it, and take it nice and slow, and get to where we're going to go. And hopefully, Bismillah, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you pray, and we all pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us all with whatever goodness there is, okay? Okay, let's start then. Get in the mindset, right? First of all, the 3 keys. Make intention that I am doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for His pleasure, so that I may get reward in the akhirah. And then now start bringing yourself in the mindset that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listening to me, is hearing me, what is going to my heart, what is going in my mind, my inner thoughts. He's well aware of all of those things. Get in that mindset. Slowly let that absorb and settle into your heart. And then we'll start reciting the amals for protection. Remember this. So we start always with intention. Then we'll get into the mindset, the 3 keys. And then we do the amals of protection. So it's 1 time Surah Fatiha, 1 times Ayatul Kursi, and 3 times the 3 goals. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. قل أعوذ برب الفلق and قل أعوذ برب الناس. So recite this now. أعوذ بالله الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم لا تأخذ سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الشر إلا هو بإذنه يعلم بين أيديهم وخلفهم لا يحيطون بشيء. بسم الله. Once you do that, then blow in your put your palms, your hands out, blow into your hands and spread it all over your body. Now get into the 3 states of humbleness, of shukr, and of tawakkul. Of humbleness, think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, think how great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and how inferior you are, that you're not worthy to be even sat here, that all the sins that you know, whatever sins you committed, and all these people, the brothers that sat next to us, the people in our locality, all the Muslims, they're all better than you, they're all superior to you. And that in comparison to the creation, we are nothing. We're like not even a speck of dust or an atom in comparison to the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Such creations that He's got. Shukr is that despite being so flimsy and weak, and despite the fact that we are falling short, yet still Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives, and yet still He's always granting us goodness, guiding us, supporting us, helping us. And that we can be forever grateful for all the blessings that He's given us. The fact that we have come to know Him, come to know Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, come to know our spiritual guide, being given a path, should be so grateful for this. That all these people throughout the world, they just wish for one meeting with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They wish to be able to meet their relatives. They wish to be able to actually traverse in the spiritual path, but they are not able to. And this is a great blessing. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. And then tawakkul, that it is not my deeds, it is not me, it is not myself that will actually be able to traverse and go in the spiritual way, the spiritual path, and see these things. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is Him. He is the one who has enabled me to traverse, to travel, to see, to speak, to analyze, to observe, to experience. It is only by His grace and fadl. So I rely on Him. Let that settle in your heart. Remember, just be as sincere as you can. Keep that sincere thought in your hearts and minds, and be open, and really, really be humble, really be thankful, and really have reliance on Him. And now we'll start the azkars, the beginning amals. Is 1 time Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, 3 times Astaghfar, 3 times Durood, and 3 times La Hawla wa la Quwwata illa Billah. So once again, if you repeat after me, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Astaghfirullah. الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So again, bring in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think that He is seeing you, seeing us all. He is with us. He is listening to our hearts. He is listening to our minds. And think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me with all His sifat and qualities in the manner that suits His Majesty. He's hearing me, He's seeing me. As you bring this thought, let it settle again, refresh. We will start the preparation Latifa. So now imagine the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beautifully white in the sky, white in color, beautiful white color, and light descends down from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to your head, to the crown Latifa. And as you breathe in, as you know, we make sure that the light goes all the way through the body, fills in all the body. As you breathe in, it's like filling up like a balloon. And then as you breathe out, release all the anxiety, all the problems, all the stress, all the difficulties, all the sins, all the worries. Release them all out. So breathe in, light from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, white light from the head. Fill the whole body up with this light. And then breathe out the stress, the anxiety, the problems, the sins. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Now I want to imagine the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is red in color, and think the light is emanating down from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and as you breathe in through the nose, the light enters the nose, and goes all the way down to the red latifa, which is based below the navel. Breathe in, make sure the light goes into the latifa, and as you breathe out, the light exits from the back, activating, cleansing the latifa. So the name of Allah Santa is red, and take it to the red latifa, which is based below the navel. Some of you are already thinking about, are struggling on this one. You're already thinking about going home. You're already thinking about your family. I want you to empty your hearts and empty your minds, and don't think about this whatsoever. Block them out and just think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we need to cleanse this as much as possible. So empty your minds and hearts. Don't bring the thought of family, don't bring the thought of home, don't bring the thought of work. Think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the method that you're supposed to do now, okay? Now think that the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is orange in color. And light is coming down from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, orange light coming down. As you breathe in, goes to the nose and goes all the way to the orange latifa, which is based above on the navel, okay? Which is based on the navel. And then as you breathe out, light is exiting out from the back, energizing and cleansing the orange latifa. Now think that the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is yellow in color. Imagine the light from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming down. As you breathe in, the light enters your nose and is going all the way down to the yellow latifa, which is based in your stomach. And then as you breathe out, the yellow light exits from the back. Now think that the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is beautifully green in color. Think that the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is green color. Light is coming down. Green light is coming down from the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. As you breathe in, take it in through your nose and take it to the green latifa, which is based in your chest. And as you breathe out, the light exits from the back, energizing and cleansing your latifa. Now think that the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is light blue in color. And same again, as you imagine that light is coming down, the light blue light is coming down. As you breathe in, going through your nose and goes to the light blue latifa, which is based on your throat. And as you breathe out, light is exiting from the back, energizing and cleansing latifa. Keep the presence in mind that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is with you, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is seeing me, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is listening to me and listening to my heart. Now think that the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is dark blue indigo color. And as you breathe in, imagine the light goes straight to the dark blue latifa which is based in your forehead. And then as you breathe out, imagine the light is exiting from the back of the forehead. Now think that the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is white in color, and the beautiful name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala light is coming down, and as you breathe in, it goes into the crown latifa, white latifa, which is based just above the head, and as you breathe out, light is exiting from the back of the latifa. Now we're going to be starting to prepare ourselves for the transfer, so we're going to combine them all now. So imagine the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is white in color, and as we breathe, imagine the white light is coming from the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala hitting our crown latifa, then hitting the dark blue, then the light blue, then the green, the yellow, the orange, and the red, and it's light is going all the way down, and as we breathe out, light is going all the way up again, energizing the latifas, all of them one by one. Breathe in, imagine light is coming again from top latifa to all the way to the bottom latifa, and slowly, slowly, slowly your body will start to actually disappear. So focus on this and follow. So breathe in, white light from the head to the white latifa, to the dark blue, to the green, to the light blue, to the green, to the yellow, the orange, and the red, all being activated. Breathe out, take it up again. Breathe in, take it down, up. body is slowly starting to disappear. Now slowly your body is disappearing. Now that you're still alive on the breath and your spirit. Slowly, one by one, the latifs are going to disappear. The red disappears. The orange, the yellow, the green, light blue, dark blue, the white latifa have all disappeared. Keep on breathing. Form your spiritual body now. Create your spiritual body. Now that leaves you with just your breath and your spirit now. As soon as you formulate your body, you're going to take the golden breath. When you're ready, breathe in to your spiritual body. As you transferred to your spiritual body, find the teacher, think of the teacher. Now we have met with our teacher. We're going to go, first of all, to Faiz, to the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbagh Rahmullah. Some of you are quickly running to catch up with us, so we are waiting for you to hold our hands. And now they're patting us to go forward, walk towards the blessed shrine of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbagh. They're tapping us as if pushing us to go, gathering us together. We're walking. Some of you are not walking, some of you are flying behind Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh. Now we've reached the door of the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbagh Rahmullah. Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh is giving salam to them, asking permission to enter. And he, Rahimahullah, gives us permission to enter. We're going inside the Mazar now. We're sat, all of us sat around inside the Mazar. We're just going to recite some Durood Sharif now. Bismillah. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu ala Muhammad, 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 Sallallahu ala Muhammad, Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. As we recited the durood, it created joy in the house of Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar rahimahullah, and Sayyidina Ali Harazim rahimahullah has joined us, Sayyidina Ahmad Tijani rahimahullah joined us, Sayyidina Mullah Idris Akbar and Thani, they've joined us. All the Mashayikhs are joining us in the Mazar, and they're happy. So try to focus on the Mazar, try to focus on Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar rahimahullah, and if you lose, try to refocus on our Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh. Feel the presence. Oh my children, Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar is saying is that with the blessing of the durood that we recited, I am now connecting a path for us to now go to Madinat al-Munawwara. So let's all go now. He, rahimahullah, comes out of the grave. Now imagine there's a path, a light, like a light or tunnel light, and through that light at the end is showing the courtyard, Masjid Nabawi, and showing the courtyard. So we're going to go through this light, ray of light, a tunnel of light, which at the end we're going to see the courtyard of Masjid Nabawi. So are you all ready? Inshallah, we'll be going. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And in your heart, he, alayhi rahmah, is saying is keep on reciting durood. We're all going now towards the light. We're going towards following Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar rahimahullah, Sayyidina Ahmad Dabbagh, and the Mashayikhs, and all of us weeping as well. Some of us are weeping, and we're going towards Masjid Nabawi to be outside the courtyard of Masjid Nabawi. Now we're at the courtyard of Masjid Nabawi. We're gonna go. Our teacher, the Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh, is looking to us now. Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar rahimahullah, that we're outside. We're facing the Gumbad al-Khadara. They are actually looking towards us now. They're saying, we will sit here in the courtyard, my children, Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh is saying, because this is the way in which the blessed feet Mubarak of the Prophet ﷺ is facing. And we want to be sat. There is no better place to be sat than at the feet, in the direction in which the feet Mubarak is facing, because through his blessed feet we achieve everything. So we sit here, and again we're going to recite some durood again. My children, empty your heart and create that yearning for the Prophet ﷺ, to be with him, to follow him. Create that yearning in your hearts, open your hearts, and there's nothing we can achieve without following his blessed footsteps. And there's nothing more greater. What lies greater? Imagine that on the feet of the mother is paradise. What to say, what is under the feet of Prophet ﷺ, blessed feet. So with full heart and love and yearning, we recite durood now. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحابه أجمعين. As we recited the durood, Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu has come from Baba Salam and is now allowing us and giving us permission, telling Shaykh Ahmad Abad that you can go to the Jali Mubarak, the road Mubarak of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So giving us permission to enter and go. So now Shaykh Ahmad Abad is kissing the hands of Sayyidina Ali. All the Mashayikh are kissing their hands. And we're seeking permission. We're all kissing the hands of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu. And we're going towards the Jali Mubarak of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now we're slowly walking towards the road of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We're outside now. We should present our salam now. You can give individually your salam to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And also give salam to Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. And also give salam to Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. As we're giving a salam, light is building and building and building inside the door. And the door, by the wasila of Shaykh Ahmad Abad, by their salam and durood, the door is open, the light is emanating from the door. And we're asked to go in and we're following Shaykh Ahmad Abad. And we're going inside the door. Then you'll see the chamber. Light is emanating out. It's like a curtain that moves, and we're going through the chamber. Now, slowly, you can see that we're going down the stairway. Slowly, we're going down the stairway. All of us are slowly. There's a lot of us, so we're slowly going down, one by one, until we see the blessed grave Mubarak of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Illuminating, light is illuminating, glowing with light. Again, with adab and respect, with humility, we walk towards the grave of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Shaykh Ahmad Abad is actually sitting one side, Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar is sitting on the other side, Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani is sitting next to Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu is on that side as well. And we are sat in front, facing towards the grave. Now give your salam to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Shaykh Ahmad Abad rahmahullah is saying, repeat after me. Assalamu alayk, Assalamu alayk, Assalamu alayk, Ya Rasul Rabbal Alameen. Assalamu alayk, Assalamu alayk, Assalamu alayk, Ayyuhan Nabi. Assalamu alayk, Assalamu alayk, Assalamu alayk ya Rasul Rabbal Alameen. As we're sending salam upon the Prophet ﷺ, we're all weeping and crying, including the mashayikhs, weeping and crying towards the Prophet ﷺ. Light is developing more and more, and slowly we start to see the blessed Prophet ﷺ. We can see his lap is coming, blessed hands is on his lap, sat in a tahiyyat position, and then we're seeing he's sat in such a beautiful, humble way with his head bowed down. The Chadar Mubarak is facing there. And we continue with our salam, and he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is giving salam back. He also has got tears in his eyes. We're asking, Mashayikhs are asking for guidance. Is there anything they can guide us with? Nasiha they can give us as we are weak, that could help us to strengthen us. He, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, replying to the nearest effect, that as you leave the itikaf, you will go from light to dark. As you leave your itikaf, you're going to go from lightness to darkness. Your only light and your only salvation lies in following my message, following my footsteps, and following my beloved Ahmad. This will be your light when you enter the darkness of the world. It will help you, safeguard you from falling into the wrong paths, wrong ways, wrong ideas, wrong habits, and straighten you and bring you back and confirm you up to the right path, the Sirat al-Mustaqim, my path. So cling onto these teachings, my ummati. Cling onto it and don't let shaitan overwhelm you. Don't let him think that you are weak. Don't let him think that you cannot be successful. O my ummatis, you have heard the blessing of sitting at taqaf, is that whoever sits at taqaf will get reward of Hajj and Umrah. Let us go and perform that now. So immediately what's happening now is that we've been dressed from the sky. Ihram is being sent by Malaika, and we've been dressed in the Ihram. All of us, beautiful, radiant white Ihrams has been sent, and we've been dressed in the white Ihrams. And he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is also dressed in the beautiful white Ihram. And now we're following slowly with the Prophet ﷺ behind him, behind the Mashayikh. We are now slowly going to go towards Makkah al-Mukarramah. Bismillah. As if we're flying there with the power of the Prophet ﷺ. Now we should have arrived, we have arrived in front of the Kaaba, and we're going near towards the Hajar al-Aswad. We're in the corner, Rukn Yamini, we're in that corner now. We're going towards the Hajar al-Aswad. We're standing there. We are not gonna now. Kaaba is in very, very big. It's not just the normal size, it's very big size. We're like ants. Light is emanating from the Hajar al-Aswad. And it's like taking us, sucked us in the Hajar al-Aswad. We've been sucked in like little ants, like light which has sucked us in, and it has sucked us out. And we are radiating, sparkling with light. As if we're cleansed, we're sparkling, so polished, so refined. And now, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, we are starting this circumambulation. We're going around the Kaaba, following the Prophet ﷺ with our teachers, Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh and the Mashayikh. We're going very fast, we're swirling around the Kaaba, swirling, swirling. We are now swirled so high that now we're going towards Jabal Rahmah. We are there at Jabal Rahmah. We're now doing astaghfar, raising our hands, beseeching Allah SWT to forgive us. Light, name of Allah SWT is above the Jabal and shining down upon Jabal Rahmah. Again, it's purifying, it's enlightening us even more, cleansing us. Now, as he says in Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, he says, we're now going towards Bayt al-Muqaddas. We are there at Bayt al-Muqaddas now. And we're all radiating with light, with illumination. We are there, outside. And there, the He Sallallahu is there. Sayyidina Musa Islam greets the Prophet Sallallahu with salam. Sayyidina Isa Islam is there. Sayyidina Adam Islam is there. Other prophets and messengers are there. They're all there waiting. They're giving their salam to us. We're about to perform the prayer now. The prophets and messengers are asking the Prophet ﷺ. We're outside. We are there. They put a masalla out for the Prophet ﷺ, which is made out of light. And we're about to pray behind the Prophet ﷺ, the prophets and messengers, the awliya, the salihin, the companions. Huge, huge gathering. He Sallallahu is saying is that as we're going to pray, think of the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, think of the divine, and you'll be taken there. So he was raising hands, and we now started the prayer, and as if everything's just moving up with an instant, and we've come and we're praying in the divine presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying now, feel the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Feel His love entering your heart. Feel the intimacy. Feel His mercy. Feel His love. Feel His intimacy. Feel His mercy. Every single one of us are talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the way that you want to talk. It's all individual. With the heart and mind. So open your heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now. Now, seek permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Mashayikh. With the permission, now think and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which person you like to visit, which grave you like to visit on your way back. So think and beseech Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Seek the permission of the Mashayikh that which grave you like to visit, which person or personality you like to visit before we come back. Make your request. But before that, we're going to recite some tasbeehs. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. With that presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the light of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is gently guiding us to whichever grave that you want to go to, whichever grave you are at. Now find yourself in that grave or that person. keep the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whilst you're there. And converse and ask whatever you wish to ask for. Think that the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is hitting the grave and hitting yourself. And the grave is starting to illuminate slowly, slowly. And you should see the person inside. Now slowly, slowly take permission from the person, take permission from the Mashayikhs. Come back to a blessed shrine of Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar Rahimahullah. Give salam to them. Take permission from Sayyidina Ahmad Abbar and slowly bring yourself back to your body, and then slowly you may open your eyes once you're back. This is your time now to give some feedback as to what you experienced, or didn't experience, thoughts, feelings, and so on. So please do now share. This is probably one of the last time you can actually do this. So, yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, in the beginning, visualizing was a little bit more difficult for me. And I was following along with yourself as much as I could. But I kept losing the image of Hazrat Sahib. But I kept bringing myself back. And alhamdulillah, I was able to follow yourself throughout. Around the time where we were with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and with all the prophets and companions praying, and you mentioned to get in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So at that point I saw that I was just in the sky with the huge name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in white. And myself and Hazrat Sahib were just circling around the name. And then when yourself mentioned that where you want to go, which grave you want to see, I remembered what yourself had said, and it also occurred to me, and I wanted to see the grave of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh Rahimahullah. So I ended up over there with my teacher, and as I saw the name of Allah above and the light was entering the grave and myself, and the light became more and more, then I felt everything became dark, but I felt that I was in the presence of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh Rahimahullah, and I was asking them for forgiveness and thanking them for showing us this path. And after a while, I also felt, after a while, I returned back to just being in front of their grave, but they were there as well. And I could kind of see that they had like green clothing or green turban, not green turban, green jubba. And Hazrat Sahib was beside me too. And I continued to thank them and ask for that I can be more for help. And they also, I felt like they had put their hand on my head as well. And afterwards, when you said that we should return to the grave of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh, as I was already there, I conveyed my salams to them and asked them permission to leave.
MashaAllah, both Mubarak to you. Is it the first time you had the meeting of them, or?
This is the first real time that I, yes, talked to Sayyidina Abdul Aziz the Bagh and had that meeting.
MashaAllah. So, a lot of times people like to jump steps and jump phases. They like to go from, let's say, we tell you, okay, this is what you have to do. You have to go think of the teacher, then go to Sayyidina Abu Zubayr, then go to Medina. So what people they try to bypass the teacher. They try to go direct, get direct to Medina Sharif, direct to Allah Subhanahu, direct to Jannah, direct to this place. And this is where it's like we can't overemphasize that really. You had Medina Sharif there, you had Makkah Sharif there, you had really Allah Azza wa Jal, you could have gone to His presence already. But what was missing? The element is the key is teacher. And it is that teacher, it's through the teacher, everything opens up for you. It's through the teacher that the qurb of Allah, the qurb of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the path to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala opens up for you. The access to the divine presence opens up to you. All the spiritual benefits and thamaras that is there, it opens up to you. That's why it's so important. Like what happened initially, what's happened, people were trying to say, oh, we just see lights, or we just seeing nothing, or we're seeing glimpses. When you start following the tertib and the order that we say, and you build on that, and focus on the teacher, eventually you start, like what we say, that converse with your heart, converse with your mind. You might be thinking, what am I doing? I'm just conversing. I'm not getting anything back. But if you converse while happening slowly, you'll hear something back. You may be giving salam, you think, why am I giving salam? I don't hear the salam. It's because we're not ready yet, we're not there yet, we're not purified so much as such. Eventually, once you're purified, you'll also hear the salam. Then you see the person, you'll also see the person. And then it becomes audio and visual together. So alhamdulillah, that's a great progression that you're making. If you carry on and keep up with this, like Ustad Abdul Rahim and Ustad Shah Alam were saying earlier on, is what is expected of you. Now you have to be strong on that and steadfast on that and take it forward. Don't just settle for this. Go higher and go beyond. Meaning that make it clearer, make it stronger, and follow the path that was at the stages and steps that has been put down for you earlier. Follow that after you leave at the Kaf and make it even more illuminating. Yes, Tafadhal.
Just one thing that really helped me that yourself said was, don't be weak in front of the shaitan. Don't just be stronger. So I was having a lot of doubts in myself, but after yourself mentioned that, and I started to try to become stronger, then the visualization became clearer as well.
Anybody who's not mentioned anything so far in terms of these feedbacks, especially those brothers who are struggling, who are finding it difficult, would they like to mention anything?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
So I was just going through the latayafs, and I think because the latayaf took a bit of time, I was just basically falling in and out, and I think it's mainly because I was a bit tired, and then even when I was following what you're saying, but I was just falling in and out, so I thought I'd just mention that. As in, like, maybe I was a bit nodding off, or then coming back and then focus on the teacher, and then I'll nod off again, and then focus on the teacher, then I'll end up thinking about something else, then I'll focus on the teacher. But yeah, I thought I'd just say that.
Yeah, that will happen if your body didn't have enough rest. Did you have enough sleep before?
For about 4 hours.
4 hours. This is what happens is that I told you this was is going to be quite a lengthy one today, because we're trying to do a combination of all the muraqabat. So it was slightly lengthy, but this is why with these muraqabats that you're doing, don't take it lightly. It does sap a lot of energy, and for that you need to be fresh, ready. So that 15-minute nap would have helped. But if you've not had that rest before, it's gonna really affect your performance afterwards as well. So that's why you need to do your bit, i.e., take sufficient rest. Then the performance will likewise show when you're actually doing the maraqabah. Okay. Inshallah, if you carry on, no, inshallah, you'll be fine. But rest when you go back home, practice these. Inshallah, you'll be fine. That's fine. Anybody on this side?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, I was cleaning the lataif quite clearly this time, and after the transfer I found myself by Brother Qais, and I found the teacher next to on his left hand side, and then I was trying to see the teacher's face, and when Brother Qais mentioned, then we are in phase. I try to instead of seeing the building of the mazar, I was inside. I see the outline of our grand teacher's grave, and I knew there was some Arabic writing, but I couldn't see anything. What was the writing over there? And then when you mentioned that a light was coming out, I couldn't see any light or anything. All I could see is the Masjid al-Nabawi. And in that point, I was kind of lost. I think I could see Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, and I went to kiss him. And then later on, I was like, oh, maybe you said it later on, and then I was going before you said that, and I thought maybe it's not right. I went there or not, and then I was just trying to see the teacher cells. I don't know where I was, and then it's been a long time. I was just trying to see teacher. All I could see is teacher was wearing white kurta and a white turban as well, and then you mentioned we are in the heaven, and not in the heaven, sorry, in the sky with Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, sorry, before that when you mentioned we are in Masjid al-Aqsa, all I could see is the dome, golden colored dome of Al-Aqsa, and then I could just see myself standing there for prayer, and that's it. I couldn't see anything. And then later on, when you say all the prophet, everybody was in the sky in the presence of Allah, I was just from my heart I was believing it, and I was making dua. And from there, when you said to seek the permission to go to the grave, I would like, and I was basically, I asked the permission to go to see my younger sister who passed away a few years ago, to her grave. So I was just seeing there that me and the teacher was there, and a light of Allah's name is just hitting the grave, and then later on I again saw that I was going with my teacher by our car over there, and I opened the door of the car, and again we went to the grave for the second time, and then I wanted to see, but I couldn't see anything at all from there, and I just was praying to my Lord that maybe it's better for me not to see anything.
Bismillah. MashaAllah. Mubarak for this. I think some of it is quite self-explanatory. Is this your first experience like so? You have sat in at retreats before, but this is your first experience. Okay, MashaAllah. So that in itself, that now you have experienced some of the beginnings of the opening of such. Obviously, some things were a bit hazy and you're not sure of, and that's natural, because when you first start to see something, your mind tries to understand what's going on, and it's not always very clear what is happening in front of you. Likewise, some things you couldn't make out, but some things were clear, like going to Fairs Sharif and in the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz al-Dabbagh, and then you're going to Medina Sharif, and then meeting Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, and so on. So that in itself is a blessing, mashallah. Allah Ta'ala reward you for this. The one thing you're saying, sometimes you find that you're lost, or you hold yourself back. Like before, Ustaad Qais, I've mentioned something you experienced, but then you thought maybe it's not right. That thought itself is actually not correct. What you have to do is, once you're there and you're experiencing, just let yourself flow. What happens is the knowledge or the information sometimes from the ustad or the teacher, it passes on to your spirit. That transfer of knowledge and experience is much faster than verbally. So if, for example, your ears is listening physically, your heart is listening as well, knowledge is transferring, and the soul to soul, the knowledge is transferring as well. So sometimes this is already happening before you hear with your ears as well. So that's why you should let yourself flow, and the knowledge is flowing from the teachers and from the mashayikh, and you just carry on. Don't worry about if I'm doing right, if I'm doing wrong. Once it's up and going, then you just let it carry on without holding yourself back, inshallah. So that's something else, inshallah, as you started seeing, you should really be aware of, not to hold yourself back and not to question. Just let it happen. Only thing is, always remember, for everyone really, is that it is always said that is very important, especially in the spiritual journey, to have teacher by your side. Even if you go to a place and you think, I know at this place, for example, going to Morocco or Medina Sharif, it is still better to have a teacher by your side. Because what happens is, teacher represents and serves as an emergency button. If ever anything goes wrong, or you get lost, or something happens that you're not sure of, the teacher is by your side. And if you remember them, remember him, then automatically you're saved from many distractions or many possible harms or interference of shaitan as well. So that's why always have that in mind, have that in your experience, that teacher is by your side. And that way you don't feel lost or feel as though you're scared or something that happened to you, and they will guide you, inshallah. If you are lost, and at that moment, if you forget, at that moment you find a teacher, they'll be next to you, and they'll guide you to safety, guide you to a place where you feel comfortable again, inshallah. So it's very key to have that teacher with you at all times in these journeys, inshallah. So I pass on to our...
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, this was actually one of the brothers, and there was about 10, 11 brothers we saw yesterday, collectively, privately, and they were struggling. Alhamdulillah, one sitting, mashallah, after the consultation with those ustads, you, alhamdulillah, being able to see some of the blessings and unveiling of Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, which really, they are like the king of all the awliyas. It is really through their blessings that people become even more higher, especially the awliya Allah. And it's through their really selection process that people can gain such heights in the closeness of Allah Azza wa Jal. So alhamdulillah, Brother Mizan was one of them. There was also about 10 people who saw us collectively downstairs yesterday. These are the people I want to really get their feedback from, because then we have an idea. So alhamdulillah, Brother Nizam mentioned yesterday he could not get in such closeness as such, but today one consultation as such and feedback with those stars he alhamdulillah has, and the blessings of the mashayikhs and teachers he has alhamdulillah experienced. So if there's any other brothers here now who were downstairs, if they can also relate. It seems as though I think majority are not here. That's probably why they're not experiencing anything, the people from yesterday. So actually, Brother Riaz, if you can mention, because you were here downstairs as well.
Alhamdulillah, I did the Lataif process as I usually do along with these sessions. And yeah, the Lataif process was easy for me. I could see the colours visually and obviously the transition of the light coming in.
Yes, slowly and loudly, slowly and loudly.
I could see the colours of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in red, yellow, etc. And the light flowing through me, coming out. And then when I did the transfer, myself and Hazrat Sahib was in a plain white field until Ustaad Qais mentioned picture yourself coming into the what's it called, the
Mazar.
Mazar. So we came into the courtyard, and then I pictured myself and Hazrat Sahib going into the shrine, and I don't know, for some reason I saw red floor, green wall, gold shrine, the grave being gold.
Say that colours again. Red floor.
Red floor, green wall.
Inside or outside?
Inside. And Hazrat was sat right next to me. I was there. And we were doing the Durood Sharif as you were, and as we were doing it, I don't know, for some reason my heart felt with it as well. So I felt there was some sort of presence. And after that finished, I think you mentioned we went to Medina. So I didn't see any figure whilst we were in the Mazar. I didn't see any light either. So when we went to the Medina Sharif, we just sat in the outskirts of the new Masjid Nawabi, in the courtyard. Or I can see the green dome, like that one there behind you guys. We were just doing the zikr. I sat there with Hazrat Sahib until we got into to see the grave of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So once we got there, I saw the golden gates like yesterday, and I tried to open the gate. I managed to open it. I saw light emulating, and I saw some figures, like three or four figures of all were wearing white mama. All were white basically, white figures wearing a mama. And I tried to enter, I couldn't enter. Then I left it. Then I opened it again. More light was emulating. I tried to enter, I couldn't enter. So I'm back. This time I let Hazrat Sahib open the gate and enter. And by the way, they were wearing a black chadar again, and a creamy jubba with the kameez they normally wear, and black turban. So they opened it, they went inside, and I followed suit. But this time the light was too much, I couldn't see anything, like it was too much, so I was literally following behind them, and we went down a spiral staircase. As we were going down, we came into a room where there was a grave in the middle, and a lot of light was emanating from that grave. A lot. I think we started the Durood Salawat again. So once that happened again, I felt a presence, like my heart was somewhat overwhelmed, and a figure of light came out from the grave. I don't know who it was, but obviously once the figure came out, I assumed it was the Prophet ﷺ, so I requested that, can I lay my head on their lap, which I did, and I felt a warmth, I felt in peace, and I just felt good, alhamdulillah. And thereafter, I think you mentioned, where did we go next? We went to Makkah. Was it Makkah, Sharif?
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you know thereafter there was
Well,
a
yeah,
message given in the
Yeah, whilst I was there, whilst I was sitting on, sitting my head on their lap, husband was right beside me, and they smiled. They were to the left. For some reason, I think a message came through where they were saying, practice the sunnah, propagate the sunnah.
Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh was saying
None of
this?
the
from
from the
Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
So after that, my mind kept, like, after a good 5 minutes, my mind kept dozing off or wandering off. I tried to obviously picture the teacher again, and I was in the same position. But that's the only thing I can remember. I don't remember going to Makkah Sharif or anywhere else. My mind kept wandering off elsewhere, or I kept dozing off. I don't know whether I was too tired, like the brother Asif mentioned earlier. That's what I experienced before as well. So I just thought I'd mention, that's it.
Mashallah, I think, so you managed to put your lap where, did you say? To make that clear. On whose lap? In the grave, blessed grave itself, right? Okay. So mashallah, you had I think it's the first experience, is that correct? So mashallah, it's a very beautiful first experience. And you have, so congratulations, well done mashallah for this. And sometimes this seeing a beautiful figure of light and placing on the lap itself that shows that you have reached such close proximity, mashallah. And because it's the first one, after a while, like the energy, the spiritual energy is needed, although there's a help of mashaykh there, but you come to a place where maybe because you're physically were tired, that you could not continue, you just stayed there, which is also fine. As you self do it more and more, then you get more and more strength and energy to continue in the future. But one thing you were saying about the door that you tried to open, remember that in this realm, you always see the happening by itself in front of you. So when the time is right, you'll see the door is opening by itself, because that's why you tried it and you opened and you closed again. Or the mashayikh, especially our teacher, will open it for you. So you don't have to make that move first, let it happen naturally. When the time is right, the door will open for you as well. So that's why the importance of focusing on the teacher is such that when you focus on it, then they'll, through that process, then the whole doors will be open for you as well, inshallah. So you don't have to, make that, you could say, concern of you, so I have to open it, why isn't it opening? Even in spiritual realm, let the teacher do the work for you. Or naturally, when the time is right, the door will be flung open for you and you can walk in, inshallah. But mashallah, you had done, like you said, then you did see the teacher was there, then the door was open and they managed to enter. So that's an indicator for you in everything, spirituality, your purification, because everything, instruction of following the teacher is the key, inshallah. And then you see many, many doors are opening for you as well, inshallah. So mashallah, that's good. Can I ask...
Also, but there was also one of those who struggled yesterday as well. So he's also part of the group of people who struggled.
So as you can see, this one-to-one interaction with the ustads and teachers are key, that sometimes they can help you to understand and unlock some of the things and help you to do so, inshallah. MashaAllah. Brother, yes, you want to stand up? Yeah, thanks.
Assalamu alaikum, respected teachers and respected brothers. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My experience, I would say, I've had a spiritual awakening. I've actually felt something as well as seeing something. This was probably the first time I've actually, I felt something with regards to my body actually feeling the situation that I was in. With regards to the lataifs, first of all, when I started doing them 3-4 days ago, I was struggling. But gradually the process got easier and easier. Today the transition was a lot easier for some reason. I don't know, maybe I just let myself I put myself in Allah's hands, and I just said, Allah Ta'ala, please, just take me and wherever you think I need to go, please take me there. Finding Hazrat Saab is getting easier. First of all, I used to always struggle to find Hazrat Saab, but this time I found Hazrat Saab quite easy. We were in, he was sat down, and I remember seeing him, and he sort of like ushered me over, and I sat with him, and I couldn't quite understand what he was saying, but I could feel it. I could not only feel it in my heart, but I could feel it in my mind, that he was saying that, don't worry, I'm with you. You put your trust in me, and I will take you on a journey. And we went into Masjid al-Nabawi. We went, basically Hazrat Saab was in front and I was behind. Hazrat Saab opened the doors, and I followed. Then what I remember, because I was coming in and out as well, I was losing it and then coming back in, but like you said, once you lose focus, just concentrate on the teacher. So I remember going through when we got to Hazur Park's Minar, and I remember a beautiful, like a silver gate, very intricate designs, but there were very, very small gaps where there was a lot of light coming through. And the light was just light like I'd never seen before. Even though there were very small gaps, it was still coming through so much that it was basically lighting up, you know, everything that was outside it. So the doors opened, and I remember the staircase, because I remember I was just looking down, and it's nothing like any staircase I've seen. There were very small red tiles, you know, I think piece by piece, but they were like bricks, but very small, and they basically made the steps, and I think there were about 23, 24 steps that we went down. And I remember that when I got to about the 15th step, the light that came through was so intense that I had to basically put my hands in front of my eyes. It was I just can't. Like one brother said, if I had 1,000,000 years, I'm literally shaking. I can't explain that light. It was just, I mean, the sun, forget the sun. I mean, this light was just like something of not of this world. So I remember going down, and Hazrat Saab, I just stopped. I remember I stopped, and Hazrat Saab, all I remember is someone grabbing my hand and taking me down. And I just remember, literally, I just had one hand, I think it was my left hand, just in front of my eyes, because the light was just so intense that I just couldn't see anything. It was just light. I remember we went down, and I don't remember, I couldn't see the grave for the light. I remember Hazrat Saab sat me down, and we sat down, and we read the Rood. And I remember just thinking, you know, how blessed am I, you know. And then as I was thinking that, there was a hand that came on my, so if I'm sat down, it came from, so Hazrat Saab was on the right, so it came on my head, and it was that hand, just once that came on me, it was like all my sins was just going. They were just like, just cleaning me out. And once after a couple of minutes, it was like I was reborn. I was like a pure baby, and it's like some energy just went inside me. And I just remember, it's like, that is when I said I had a spiritual awakening, because I could actually feel something being taken out of me, and actually something being put inside me. And I couldn't actually see the person, and but I could feel them. I could feel Hazrat Saab, but I couldn't feel. I presume it was our Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who came and blessed me. And all my time, I was just sat there and I was crying, and I was crying, and I don't remember anything else. And literally, we went through a few other things, but I don't remember anything else. All I remember is just being sat in that place, and that's it. And that's where, literally 10, 15 minutes, whatever, after, that's where I was. And when he said, start coming back, literally when we sat there, the whole time, the hand was just on the top of my head. I mean, I don't know how long, but it was there. And then when you said, start coming back, then all of a sudden, I mean, I couldn't see or feel anything else. And when you said, start coming back, all of a sudden, I woke, and then I excused myself. I said, we got to go, and all I remember is feeling is that someone said, you need to go. That's all I remember. And then next thing you know, we're back out in the courtyard. That's all I remember. That we're back out in the courtyard, and then I woke up. Literally, that's all I remember.
Alhamdulillah, that's mashallah, Mubarak on this blessed, mashallah, vision and such closeness that a person can get to be beside the blessed chamber and beside the blessed grave of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to be in such proximity, to have we could say this blessed feeling and this blessed light on top of your head, that of it is like the hand of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So alhamdulillah, in the spiritual world, as you heard that the brother was saying that he didn't see it as though the lips moving, but words were exchanged through the hearts. And in the spiritual world, this is how words are exchanged, is through heart of the Mashayikhs to the heart of yourself. It's mind to the mind, to the ruh. It's the spirits that speak in the spiritual world. Sometimes before they even speak, the inspiration, a person is aware what will happen next. And alhamdulillah, this is how the communication is. And alhamdulillah, this is a spiritual, mashallah. Is it the first time this?
I've had, yeah, you could say this is like the proper first time, because I've had a few problems with the Latifs. But this was a lot smoother transition.
Right. Was it the first time in Etikaf or this retreat? Or,
this is the first time I've had the, with regards to me feeling the Prophet.
Right, mashallah.
But I've had an experience, one or two minor experiences before. But this was, like I said, this was the first that I regard as the first spiritual awakening, where I actually felt it as well. It was like an energy was going inside me, and an energy was coming out of me as well.
So as you can see, like when a person goes into this spiritual world, so many unveilings occur, and one of them would say is that the fine detail of going down the chamber, as you see, like the red towels that you mentioned. And this is something, not everyone has mentioned here before, really. So alhamdulillah, this is a very unique thing that you mentioned. And as you went inside and the intense light, so there's so much light and nur of the Prophet ﷺ that really, if this light were to be in this extended, then really this universe would have just explode really because of the light. It could not really tolerate this light. What about to say when someone like myself will go down there, and how but we can tolerate with the fazl, with the presence of the mashayikh. And really this hand, again, like Dr. Shalom said, is really, if you follow this hand, and this hand seems like the hand of the Prophet ﷺ, then really you have no other hands to need to follow or hold in this dunya really. Once you have the hand of Mashayikh and the Prophet ﷺ, why do we need to hold the hand of shaitan? Why should we hold the hand of nafs and desire? This should be enough when we return back to this world. It should be enough to follow them. And this is an indication that we should always be holding their hand in dunya as well when we return. Meaning that we should follow the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, their prophetic way, what they used to honor and hold, what they used to uphold in the sense of the command of Allah Azza wa Jal, uphold the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, their way. So really this is the indication that you should be doing, is upholding the presence of Allah Azza wa Jal and the prophetic way and their lifestyle really. So what a blessed place to really be at the hand of the Prophet ﷺ. Imagine is holding, is on top of your head. What hand should we want, really? Even if the whole world was on top, really, everything was on top, but the hand of the Prophet ﷺ would really be enough for one person. So this shows closeness, mashallah. That feeling of closeness is meant to be that you use this feeling and you return and you put it into practice. And the reason at the very end they were calling you back is that you should return to this dunya and share this. And this is what we were talking about today, is that it's no good you just keeping this knowledge and this blessing of Allah Azza wa Jal, that people can experience this like through these retreats, but mentioning it to people to come to these retreats and actually experience for themselves and taste for themselves. And like I said, all the blessings you have all received, be a sight, blessed presence of the Prophet ﷺ, or just to be in their company, or that feeling, or that thought level of just feeling that you're there, this all has a price. All has a price. And that price is to do these amals that we've mentioned, the 5 amals, and keep contact with the ustads, keep contact with the teachers. Never lose contact. Once you lose contact, then the fares will go. Then the hand will be gone. Imagine the hand of the Prophet ﷺ is there, waiting for all of us to hold him, to take his blessed hand. Imagine this hand goes because one's disobedience. We go back to normality, as they say. Our normality should be this. Normality should be as though we are always holding the hands of the Prophet ﷺ, always in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, always sitting as though you were sitting, you didn't want to come back. You should always think that you're always in the blessed company, as though sitting beside the blessed grave of the Prophet ﷺ. Whenever you sit, think as though you were there sitting. Whenever you are sitting with people, think as though you're sitting beside the Prophet ﷺ, as though the hand is on top of your head. When people make you angry, know that the hand of the Prophet ﷺ is on top of your head. You're the one who should respond in the prophetic way. This is how it should be for everyone that has seen, experienced, tasted. This is what we should be taking back. It's no good that we just see and then we go back to normality and do our daily lives. And it really, we'll be accountable in the Day of Judgment for this. So alhamdulillah, may Allah Azza wa Jal enable all of us, inshallah, to attain these blessings.
Just quickly, I would say, inshallah, that also shows that you saw like you were like almost reborn, and it's true that spiritually you were born now. There's many births that takes place in one's life, intellectually, physically, spiritually today, inshallah, in the hands of the Mashayikh and the teacher, you are born today. And why do you feel as though you've reached and you don't want to go anywhere? It's as though when a child goes back to his mother, the origin, the child doesn't want to go anywhere. He says, that's it, I've reached my destination, I'm happy. And that's how you felt, because you found finally your mother, your origin, through hands of the teacher and in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So one quick thing for everyone really, and for myself especially, that shows physically our teacher, especially our teacher Hazrat Ahmad Dabbagh, they're hidden. They live like anyone else. They live, they work, they go about daily business as anyone else does. So there's like a barrier. They're hidden behind the normality of things. Spiritually, you get to now realize, like you have done, brother, that the status of the Prophet Muhammad to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and their proximity, and what their status is, and how they can take people to their presence. So spiritually, the real status, it gets revealed to an extent. Allah knows best still, but to an extent. So we should really value that now, because teacher is and will be the key to this whole journey, inshallah. And this goes to every one of us in this gathering and those watching online as well. I would just maybe take one more, just one quick one. I'd like to ask our Hafiz Sajjad, inshallah, if you want to just mention from your own experience, inshallah, and then we finish, inshallah. Ji? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. He wants to excuse him. That's fine. You understand? Yeah. Maybe we'll finish because
so if it's doesn't want to mention?
No.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Nabil Humbi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Inshallah, I'd just like to thank everybody who's participated, in case this is the last collective Muraqabah, and particularly the people who have done our hidmah, so that we can teach freely, participate freely, not think about preparing our food, not think about the toilet paper, who's cleaning the toilets, all of these little things we sometimes forget about. And with that, the biggest blessings are the gifts that you received. And all of us, pretty much, I think 95 to nearly 99%, everyone's experienced or received a gift. And that we've been hearing, and as the brothers have mentioned, and the main emphasis of today has been, what are you going to do with these gifts? Is your life, can your life be the same? These are high-level things that you've experienced. Can your life be the same? If the teacher is sharing, should you be sharing? It's something profound that when I was speaking to Brother Qadir at the beginning, and he talked about, why have people in Bolton stayed quiet about this? He goes, I had to meet the teacher in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, no, people have stayed quiet. And he's talking about his friends. He's talking about people who attend this masjid here. Is that right, Brother Qadir? Yeah, he's sitting right there. Then he said something to me. He said, you know what, Sajid? I'm not going to stay quiet. I'm not going to stay quiet. How can you stay quiet? Is that right? No, that's something to take motivation from. And he hasn't stayed quiet. He's come all the way from Saudi Arabia back to Bolton. I mean, I think the story in there from one of the awliyas in the past. But he's come back to Bolton, not to see his mother, his parents, his brothers, his cousins. He's come here to solidify these experiences, learn how to take it on further. He's sitting right there, ask him. And inshallah, you'll see him taking this further. When somebody has a zeal, it's only going to benefit them because they're going to be benefiting others. And those are the thoughts and the, what you want to be inspired, not feel good about these gifts now, because these things can go and you're going to be depressed. Trust me, and talk to those who know. Once you experience these high level things, these things that you do nothing with them. That's what the brothers here are meaning by payback. It's now payback time. Start to, if you just want to look and see and experience, that in itself will become your block. That in itself will become your block. Take some inspiration from the brother who is sitting amongst you. Now like we have in business, the best advertising is word of mouth. So inshallah, forgive us if we've not really done, because we can't really do what we're supposed to be do from a training, learning perspective for what we have been honored with. I mean, the biggest miracle, if you want to talk about miracles, because what you've been experiencing really are miracles, but the biggest miracles as far as the people are concerned, wider, is when you change. In 2 or 3 days' time, you're not the same person when you left. They will see that as a miracle. Then they'll want themselves to attain that miracle. Okay? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we'll ask our Imam Ustaad Qais to make dua for us, inshallah. Please.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, as-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal-Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, we're your sinful servants sitting in your beloved house, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We have sat here not really abiding by the etiquettes and mannerisms that are deserving to be sat, Ya Rabbil Alameen. But we're hoping by your grace and your fadl and your mercy that you are so vast in your mercy and your vast in your forgiveness that you forgive us for all of our sins, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Whatever wrongs that we might have done in the masjid and outside, and whatever wrongs we might have done to one another, Ya Rabbi, please forgive us. Ya Rabbal Alameen, these are days of Najah. Ya Rabbal Alameen, please save us from the fire of hell, Ya Allah. Save us from the fire of hell, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, these blessed teachings that we have actually learned, the path, the spiritual openings, the blessings that you've given us, the countless blessings given us, but more important, to have the company and the sohbat of Shaykh Madabagh, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Enable us to have these moments of sohbah and openings all throughout our life, forever, in this life as well as the akhirah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, bestow your mercy and Rahman blessings and everlasting peace upon the beloved Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, upon his family, upon the household of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and upon all the companions radiyallahu ajma'in, khususan upon Sayyidina Ali Karamullah al-Kareem, and upon all the awliya and salihin of every turuq, khususan upon Sayyidina Abdul Aziz al-Dabbagh, and upon Sayyidina Abdul Qadir al-Jilani rahimahullah, and all the mashayikh, all the turuq, Ya Rabbil Alamin, and upon all the Muslim ummah who've passed away from Sayyidina Adam up until now. Ya Allah, Ya Rabbil Alamin, for all of those brothers and sisters who passed away in Iman, please elevate their state in Jannah, remove any difficulty they may suffer in their grave, especially those brothers and sisters who have nobody to make dua for them. Ya Rabbil Alamin, please forgive them, have mercy upon them, elevate their state and rank in Jannah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, now that these blessed gifts have been given, help us to protect those gifts and elevate and enhance these gifts as we get back to our homes. Shaitan will be waiting for us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Protect us from the devil, protect us from his traps, protect us from the traps of Shaitan and Nafs, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us to overcome the whims and desires of the Nafs, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Help us, whatever difficulties we have, the obstacles that we have that is hindering us in our journey towards you, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Please remove those obstacles and difficulties, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Make this journey easy for us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, we raise our hands, we say, we want you to be pleased with us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And even if you don't want to be pleased with us, still be pleased with Ya Rabbil Alameen. Please enable the Prophet to be pleased with us. And even if he doesn't, Ya Rabbi, please enable him to make him to be pleased with Ya Rabbil Alameen. And we ask you that our teacher, Shaykh Madabagh, to be pleased with us. And even if he doesn't, Ya Rabbi, please make him to be pleased with us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, Malik al-Akhirah. We are what we are, Ya Rabbil Alameen. You know best what is in our hearts and our minds. You know our weaknesses better than we do, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Grant us the goodness of this world and goodness of Akhirah. Grant us the success and salvation. Grant us your pleasure in this world as well as the Akhirah. Grant us your nearness and qurb, Ya Rabbil Alameen, the nearness and qurb of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and the nearness and qurb of our Mashayikh, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim. all of these teachings that we're seeing is so purely through our beloved Master Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh. Ya Rabbal Alameen, give him a long and prosperous life, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Remove any difficulties that they may suffer, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Envelope them in every direction, every atom of the soul and spirit, Ya Rabbal Alameen, with your mercy, with your compassion, your love and illumination, with more knowledge and ma'rifah of you, Ya Rabbal Alameen, more knowledge and ma'rifah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so that the whole world, we included, can benefit until day of judgment, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, help us to be a means of support towards them. Help us to help them in conveying the message that they're trying to convey. Help us to be united in one voice, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Help us to be supporters and not those people who hinder, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Join our hearts in the mission which the Prophet ﷺ came, Ya Rabbal Alameen, and help us to be a role model for others. Help us to become the beacon of light in the darkness of this world after Ramadan passes. Wa sallallahu khairu khalqihi Muhammad wa ala alihi sahbihi ajma'in. Ameen bi rahmatihi wa rahmih. Jazakallahu khairan jaza. Thank you very much.
I think it's a rest time now until 7:45. So inshallah, you can rest, and I'll hand it over to our beloved Brother Zafar. Also like to thank him that all throughout the itikaf, in every instant he was the first person with the mic. It's a very hard job as well if you think about it, that you have to be the first in prayer, first for everything. Your toilet breaks, anything else, you have to go to second. So he has to be ready before everyone else. He woke up before everyone else. I just saw him walking around 11 o'clock just to make sure that he doesn't miss a session. So thank you for your effort and for your service, to run the whole place. And he kept us all going, mashallah. Jazakallah, Brother Zafar.
Just wanted to make a quick announcement again. That can brothers please ensure that they take all their possessions with them, have to use this time to clear up. There's still dirty socks lying around, and I've seen various briefs as well on radiators and various places. So please take your possessions. It's not fair on the brothers to have to clean up after you when you've gone. I'm sure it's going to be a traumatic experience for them. So, Jazakallah.
Brothers, can I have your attention please, just for a second? Inshallah, because the morning session, obviously the feedback session went